Welcome back to Rajni Kiranmai YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to know about EDI implementation process. EDI implementation process is a very complex one, but if you're going to follow a systematic approach, then the implementation of EDI becomes an easy method. The steps involved in systematic approach are 8 steps. 1. Develop the structure of EDI organization. Second one, undertake in-depth analysis. Third one, develop an EDI solution. Fourth one, select EDI network provider. And fifth one is integrate EDI with the business. And the sixth one is integrate data across the business. And seventhly, test the entire system. And lastly, roll out the EDI to the business partners. The picture also represents how the process is going to take place. Now let us know about each and every step in depth. When you look at the first step involves developing the structure of EDI organization. To do so, we completely focus on the key elements that are involved in that structure. They are 1. EDI coordinator, 2. the steering committee, and the third one is dedicated EDI team. Coming to the EDI coordinator, so generally the coordinator whom we are going to select will be an IT professional with an in-depth experience in delivering EDI. If the organization has that efficient person, then this coordinator may come from in-house, or if the organization is not going to have such an eminent person, then we can hire them externally depending on the EDI experience the organization already has. Coming to the second element, key element, that is the steering committee. So this committee is formed with the department heads of the business unit, heads of the IT, and then the legal representatives in order to provide some legal rights that are involved in the decisions of EDI. Third one, dedicated EDI team. So these members are the organizational employees who are especially used or especially meant for the actual implementation of the EDI. So we can say that this team is the dedicated team who are explicitly responsible for the actual implementation of the EDI system. Coming to the second step that is involved in EDI implementation is in-depth analysis. So in the in-depth analysis, this step completely involves about the study and analyzing the in-depth concepts about the organization if it is going to implement EDI in it. So this analysis is completely based on various elements such as cost, savings, and the profit. So to do the analysis, the organization uses an effective tools. One example of such tool is the cost benefit analysis, where this cost benefit analysis is going to identify the business cycle to implement EDI in a very less expense, or we can say in a very less cost. So in the second step, we are going to analyze implementation of EDI in the organization in terms of cost, savings, and profit. Now let us move to the third point, that is develop an EDI solution. So the solution for EDI completely based on 2 elements, that is EDI translator and second one is communication model. We can say that these 2 are the key elements of the EDI system. Now let us talk what is EDI translator. EDI translator is nothing but a software where it consists of computer instructions especially meant to translate the information from unstructured company specific format to the structured EDI format. And second one, that is communication model. So in this communication model, we focus on modem, we focus on the communication line and the transmission software. So in EDI solution, the two key elements are EDI translator and communication model. So this complete step focuses on data conversion and formatting and transmitting. Now let us move to the fourth step, that is selecting EDI network provider. Many EDI network providers are there in the market. So to select an appropriate one for their specific business organization is based on the following issues, like number of business partners involved in the business activity. Second one, we should consider the issue of a pricing structure, like what is the cost for the installation, how much amount we have to spend for training, and what is the amount needed for the maintenance. And also issue regarding the technical support, is the technical support is available or enough to implement this EDI, and the features like whether the things that are there meant for EDI implementation is adaptable or not. And the last issue that should be considered while selecting a network provider is the global support to the customers. So when you select a EDI network provider, all these important issues should be considered before going for the selection for the EDI network provider. And coming to the fifth step, we are going to integrate EDI with the business. That means we are going to integrate the EDI with a current application on which we are working with, or we can say that integrating EDI system with the existing corporate application. To do so, what is that we are going to do is, first we are going to integrate EDI with the in-house enterprise resource planning business system to extract and load the data. Once the data got extracted, we are going to take this data and map that content into EDI documents. So that is the second step we presented here, that is create EDI document by mapping the extracted data. So in the step A, we have extracted the data by using the enterprise resource planning business system. And after extracting that data, we are going to map that extracted data into EDI documents. And now at step B, EDI document got created. And in step C, what is that we are going to do is we are going to install and configure the communication software for sending and receiving the EDI document that has been created in step B. So this is the basic task that we are going to perform on the existing corporate application, and this is all talks about how the EDI is integrated with the business. Once this step is successful, then we move to the sixth step, that is integrating data across the business. So a good data analysis must be considered before integrating the data across the business. For example, if the organization wishes to use EDI for the purchase order, it is important first to understand the data requirements for the complete purchasing process or purchasing order process. Once the structure of the system is understood, then the EDI team can start mapping the data. So the data mapping is a process of associating the data, that is the business data, with the EDI standard data, and of course vice versa. And this mapping work is done by the EDI team. So in a summarized way, we can say that the EDI team must define the documents and the mapping of the data. So This is called integrating the data across the business. Now we move to the seventh step, that is test the entire system. So once the EDI system is tested to the best of its ability, first what is that we are going to do is we are going to test the system on the pilot in a pilot mode with selected business partners. So pilot mode means we are going to select some specific business partners and we start testing our EDI implementation whether it is working up to the mark or not. So for that, what is that we have to do is organization is going to set up a pilot project with a small number of business partners. Then they begin with transmitting documents to the pilot partners, and pilot partners then return data for testing. As each of these tests is completed successfully, then only each pilot partners begins to send the real orders, where this real orders are going to test the capability of the system to handle the daily business processing. So all these things are done in the seventh step, that is test the entire system. And lastly, the last step that is roll out EDI to the business partners. Once the organization is satisfied with the results of the pilot project, the organization use the skilled resources to develop, manage and maintain an EDI rollout program to their supplier community. Even after rollout, there are some situations where the work should be maintained. That means maintain their programs ongoing, including monitoring and troubleshooting communication to ensure documents continue to flow. So all these things are presented in the pictorial representation over here, that is from sending company to the receiving company. Hope you are quite clear about this EDI implementation. Thank you for watching the video.